All right, next matchup. It is going to be Auburn visiting Kentucky, 3:45 Eastern tip-off in that game. The Wildcats are the 6.5-point favorite at home, total at 140. Now we are seeing significant money on Kentucky and movement downward on the total. They open 5.5 up to minus 6.5. Total open 141 down to 140. Right now the Tigers of Auburn are plus 245 on the money line. Now, if you like Auburn in this matchup here, just keep in mind they failed to cover the point spread in 4 out of their last 6. They're also just 2-6 against the spread as the official road team. They're giving up 73 points per contest when they travel. They're also shooting just 38% from the field as the official road team as well. Now, Kentucky on the other side, completely different story. They're red hot right now. Winners of their last 7 straight, 6-1 against the spread in those 7 victories. They've also been very dominant at home this year, 15-1 straight up on their home court. They're averaging 75 points per contest in the friendly confines. They're also shooting 81% from the stripe in that same category. Now, a couple more things to add here about Kentucky. They rank in the top 15 in the country in defensive field goal percentage. They're also allowing just 63 points per contest on their home court. Now, 2 out of Kentucky's last 3 did get over the number. Meanwhile, Auburn, they are 70% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward the home chalk in this one. Give me Kentucky minus 6.5 in the over 140 in that contest. Next matchup, Oklahoma traveling to Morgantown to take on West Virginia. 4 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The Mountaineers are minus 8.5 at home. Pretty big number here for an under team. Also, the total at 135.5. Now, we are seeing money on the Mountaineers at home here. And no real surprise here, we're seeing money toward the under as well. West Virginia opened minus 8 up to 8.5. Total open 136 down to 135 and a hook. And right now, the Sooners are plus 355 on the money line. Now, if you like Oklahoma on the road here, just keep in mind they've dropped 3 out of their last 4 games. They also went just 1-3 against the spread in those 4. They're shooting just 40% from the field when they travel. They're also just 2-7 straight up as the official road team. They're allowing 73 points per contest on the road this year. Now, the Mountaineers on the other side, they are very, very good in Morgantown. 13-1 straight up at home, 9-5 against the spread in that same category. They rank in the top 15 in the country in offensive rebounding, top 15 in points allowed. Very good defensively. They're giving up just 58 points per contest at home this year. Now, here's a pretty cool stat here for you. Out of West Virginia's last 8 games, all 8 of them stayed under the total. Not real surprising there. They're also 10-4 to the under at home. I'm going to lean toward the home chalk in this one. Give me West Virginia minus 8.5 and the under 135 and a hook in that game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be BYU traveling to Pepperdine. And, of course, BYU making headlines over the past week or so. I think that was about a week ago where they beat Gonzaga. But anyway, BYU at Pepperdine, 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. The Cougars are minus 7 on the road, total at 155 and a hook. Now, we are really seeing some weird trends here because we're seeing money on Pepperdine, and we're also seeing money toward the under as well. A 1-point fade of BYU and a 1.5-point move downward on the total. I can't explain it, but anyway, BYU opened as the 8-point favorite down to minus 7. Total open 157 down to 155 and a hook. Right now, Pepperdine's plus 270 on the money line. Now, if you like Pepperdine in an upset here, you're absolutely crazy. They're just 2-3 straight up in their last 5, 4-5 against the spread in their last 9. They're struggling offensively rebounding this year, and they're allowing 77 points per game. Now, BYU, they are red hot right now. Winners of their last 8 straight. They beat Gonzaga, like I said, 91-78, convincing double-digit victory there. Guys, BYU, 23-7 overall for the year, top 15 in the country in scoring on average per game, first in the country in 3-point percentage, first in the country in shooting the 3-ball. They're averaging 81 points per contest, and they're shooting 42.12% from beyond the arc. They also rank in the top 5 in offensive field goal percentage as well. They're shooting 50.3% from the field. BYU 2-0 to the over in their last couple of games, 6-3 to the over in their last 9. Meanwhile, Pepperdine 8-5 to the over at home. I'm going to lean toward the road chalk in this one. Give me BYU minus 7 and the over 155.5 in that contest. Next game, ACC. This should be a good one. Duke versus Virginia, 6 o'clock tip-off in that game. Duke's minus 3.5 on the road, total 124. No real surprise here. We're seeing money on Duke and the under. The Blue Devils open 2.5 up to minus 3.5. Total open 125 down to 124. And if you like Virginia in this one at home, they are plus $1.55 on the money line for an upset outright victory. Now Virginia really struggling against the number at home. Just 5-10 against the spread at home. They're also averaging just 58 points per contest at home, and they're shooting just 41% from the field in the friendly confines. They're just 2-8 against the spread after less than 4 days off. So they do not do all that great against the number under short rest. Once again, just 2-8 against the spread with less than 4 days off. Now Duke on the other side, 10-3 straight up away from home. They rank in the top 3 in scoring on average per game. They're averaging 83 points per contest. They're also in the top 15 in the nation in offensive rebounding, top 15 in offensive field goal percentage on the road. Now Duke is 4-0 to the over in their last 4, 80% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean Blue Devils on the road here. Give me Duke minus 3.5 in the over 124 in that game. All right, next matchup. It is going to be another good one. Big Ten showdown. Talking about Michigan State traveling to Maryland. 8 o'clock tip-off in that contest. The Terrapins are the 2.5-point favorite at home. Total at 138. We're seeing money on the Terrapins and the under in this one. Maryland open as the 2-point favorite, up to minus 2.5. Total open 138.5 down to 138 even. Right now, Sparty's plus $1.30 on the money line. Of course, if you like Sparty in this matchup here, I'm actually on board with you. 3-1 straight up in their last 4. They rank in the top 10 in offensive rebounding, top 10 in defensive field goal percentage. We're looking at 37% in that category there. Sparty also ranks in the top 25 in the country in road offensive rebounding, top 5 in road defensive field goal percentage. They're allowing just 65 points per contest as the official road team. Now, Maryland on the other side, they failed to cover the number in their last 3 straight. They've also failed to cover the number in 5 out of their last 7 as well. They're shooting just 41% from the field this year. Now, total-wise, lots of unders for this Maryland squad. 10-5 to the under at home. Michigan State, 80% to the under in their last 10. I like the road dog in this one. Give me Michigan State plus 3 after buying the hook, and the under 138 in that contest. Next game, San Diego State, the Aztecs taking on Nevada. This could potentially be a good game here, and we're looking at an 8 o'clock tip-off in that matchup. The Aztecs are the 5.5-point favorite on the road, total at 143. We're seeing money on San Diego State and movement downward on the total. The Aztecs open as the 5-point favorite, up to minus 5.5. Total open 143.5 down to 143. Nevada's plus 205 on the money line. Now the Wolfpack, they've failed to cover the point spread in their last 2 straight. They're giving up 72 points per game, and they really struggle rebounding defensively this year. And of course, when they're catching points, they're really not getting the job done against the number as well there. Just 4 and 5 against the spread when they are the underdog. So just keep those things in mind there. Now San Diego State, 27-1 overall for the year, top 3 in points allowed, top 10 in defensive field goal percentage. They're allowing just 58 points per game, and they're holding their opponents to just 37% from the field. Now, San Diego State, they rank in the top 3 in road offensive field goal percentage, top 25 in road scoring. They're averaging 76 points per contest on the road, and they're shooting 50% from the field in that category. Now, we're looking at a San Diego State squad who's 70% to the over as the official road team. Meanwhile, Nevada 5-0 to the over in their last 5 themselves. I'm going to lean San Diego State minus 5.5 and the over 143 in that game. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be St. Mary's traveling to Gonzaga, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The Zags are minus 13, total 147.5. Money's on Gonzaga and the under in this one. We're seeing under money in this one. Anyway, Gonzaga open as the 12-point favorite, up to minus 13. Total open 148, down to 147.5. Yeah. St. Mary's is plus $8 on the money line. Of course, if you like St. Mary's in this game here, you're absolutely nuts, but I'm nuts too. I'm on board with you. Winners of their last 4 straight. They rank in the top 10 in offensive field goal percentage on the road, top 5 in shooting the three ball at any location. They're shooting 40. This is wild. They're shooting 40% from downtown this year. They're shooting 40% from beyond the arc. That is incredible. They're also shooting 48% from the field on the road. They rank in the top 5 in top 15 in defensive rebounding. They're giving up just 66 points per game. Now Gonzaga on the other side, as great as they've been, and don't get me wrong, these guys have been decimating people this year, but they failed to cover the number in 5 out of their last 8. The markets really overadjust this number for this Gonzaga team, especially with their impressive record and just the way they've been decimating these weak teams. But anyway, it is what it is. Gonzaga, 3-5 against the spread in their last 8. They actually struggle from the stripe at home, which is really surprising. They're shooting just 67% from the stripe in the friendly confines. And, under short rest, these guys don't really cover the number all that well either. They're just 50% against the number after less than 4 days off. Now, total-wise, this is why I'm surprised that we're seeing under money, because Gonzaga, 9-1 to the over in their last 10, 24-6 to the over overall for the year. Maybe that's one of those false line moves that are, maybe the markets are trying to attempt to confuse the sharps. I don't know. I don't really get too involved in that. But anyway, St. Mary's on the other side, 7-2 to the over in their last 9, 6-2 to the over as the official road team. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. They're not going to win it, but they're going to keep it close. Give me St. Mary's plus 13 in the over, 147.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we improved to 9-1 in our last 10 extra daily picks on that website. Shout out to Onyx Paving, Nick Gutierrez, Ryan Rohr, Albert O'Puny, Joe Von Patty, Brock Graff, Eric Catherine, Official Express Money, Gerald Miner, shout out to Lane, shout out to The One, shout out to Base Drip NCS, Spill 99, Mr. Tracks, and last but certainly not least, shout out to Trap Drip. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon, but most importantly, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you, and I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.